So Chad Littlefield here, and behind me we've got EO Connecticut, engaged in asking each other questions that otherwise would never be asked. So we're using a tool that I created called We Connect Cards to skip past the small talk and create conversations that really matter. And so the framing and the context, we're talking about how do we shift in our organizations, how do we shift people from being critics and consumers over to being contributors and connectors. So we're just doing an experiment in what happens when we change our questions, what happens to the culture and the dynamic in the space, and we're then going to dive into the tools to actually make that happen and scale it out in your organization.
Name and business?
So, Brett Isaacson, my business is Friendship Tours and the Ship Shop. When I got into EO, actually one of my best friends was in EO. I'd actually seen him start his company when we were living together. And in a short period of time, his company had exploded and grown much faster than the company that I was actually in, that was a 40-year-old company. You know, my biggest wow moment is actually been mostly involved with the forum. So when I got involved, we had a lot of issues going on with ownership, and my forum was able to help me kind of go through and systematically figure out how to solve a problem that I hadn't been able to solve in 3 years. So that was the biggest wow. You know, the advice I would give somebody who's on the fence of getting into EO, you know, I think advice is the biggest vice in the world. I would just simply offer, if what they were doing was getting them where they wanted to be, keep doing what they were doing. But if they were looking for something different and for growth that was outside of where they were, then they should seriously take a look.
My name is Ernie Laws, and I'm founder of Sustainable Engineering Solutions. I joined EO actually on a recommendation of a friend of mine who was a part of EO and explained to me what the organization was about and really pressed me to take a closer look at the organizations for how it helped him in his business. And I wanted all of those same things, and so that's exactly what I was pursuing. A wow moment for me since I joined EO was probably within a forum experience. I was able to finally understand and realize that there were things that I needed to get straight in my own head about the nature of how I lead people, how I can improve on leading people, and what the immediate benefits would be to everyone who works within my company. The advice I would give somebody who's on the fence about joining EO would be keep your mind open. The organization can benefit in so many different ways. It's not strictly a business organization. It's a personal growth, it's a family, it's entrepreneurship. It allows you to explore all of those different avenues and really learn on a much larger scale than just strictly about business.
My name is Paul Largay. I'm the owner and CEO of Largay Travel. It's a 50-year-old, third-generation family company. We're based in Waterbury, Connecticut, and we have 145 people that work with us. This is our first year, our inaugural year as an SAP, and we've looked at a lot of different organizations, but we believe the people that were part of EO had the same mindset and the same needs that we had, and we thought there would be a great collaboration opportunity so that there would be many, many mutual benefits from our alignment with these like-minded people at EO. So far, it's just validating our beliefs that you don't have to sacrifice your humanity nor your humor to be successful, and the people in EO who are their own entrepreneurs realize that we have so many things in common that talking about best practices and shared experiences, there is a collaborative result that really is worth our price of admission almost on a daily basis. The advice I would give anybody entertaining the possibility of becoming an SAP would be to really peel back the onion and get an understanding of what this organization is and what the organization isn't. Just like anything else in life, it's not a one-size-fits-all. But if there is a proper alignment as an SAP and with the members of EO, there's so many mutual benefits to be derived, most of which you don't know until you immerse yourself in it, because there's both professional and personal gains that we have already enjoyed in the year that we've been a member of EO.
I'm Matt Hunt. I'm with Smith Brothers Insurance. We've been in EO SAP for 8 years now. We decided to join EO then as an opportunity to make connections with entrepreneurial businesses, help them grow and succeed and protect their risk. Really the biggest benefit that we feel is making connections with people, getting to know people on an intimate level, and then just being there when they need us. And that might be a week, one day after a conversation, might be 5 years after being a member. Just being there and being there for a resource for the members and helping them succeed.
My name is Tom Nasser. The business that I run is called Checkmate Digital. We're a UI UX design studio and do a tremendous amount of user research for young startups and growing enterprises. I actually decided to join EO because I thought I was going to be connected to a whole bunch of business leaders locally, and frankly a whole bunch of people need design services. I thought I was going to make a lot of money. So that was originally what got me to join, and I was very delighted actually at this point. I'm delighted at this point to see that money and growing the business was not actually the biggest value that I got out of EO. It was much more of an emotional support in areas that I didn't know I needed. I'd say my biggest wow moment is actually getting a window into what life can be like as a 40, 50, 60-year-old entrepreneur who has a dozen businesses under their belt, and sort of the life of that type of person. It wasn't really something that I've considered or looked at before, but after being exposed to it, I realized that the information and conversations that I get to have is worth its weight in gold. If you're on the fence about joining EO, I would say just look at your existing peer group and the types of people that you're able to communicate with now and the problems that you occur every day, that you encounter every day. And honestly ask yourself, is there a group that really understands what it's like to run a business and what it's like to sort of deal with the troubles and the wins and the losses that come with your business life, your personal life, and your family life. And EO is really the best spot that I've been able to find in putting all these things together and actually giving really valuable advice to people who understand what it's like to be running a business.
Ready? I'm here today with Chad Littlefield. Just finished up a great meeting here at EO Retreat 2019. Chad, what's the biggest takeaway you want us to take home today from your presentation?
I think the biggest is maybe Google's biggest takeaway. And they did this big internal research project to figure out what are the characteristics of the highest performing teams at Google. And the number one characteristic was the degree of psychological safety or trust in that group. And I think it's one of the reasons that EO works so well and makes such a difference, because that, different than any other group or community anywhere else, the level of psychological safety and confidentiality is so high for a group of business owners to get together and share things that they would never otherwise share with strangers, makes them collectively a really high performing team. And so I think we created that, and so thinking about how can you replicate and create that in your own organization.
That's huge, that's huge. Well, we want to thank Chad today for his presentation. So what's next? I'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Cheers.